How did you know how to reach out to Scientology to get off of drugs?
I didn't really. Well, what happened was I was living with this guy, and I was doing a lot. My only drug, I did a lot of cocaine. I was sort of crazy, sort of conservative cocaine.
I've tried coke, and I don't even get it. It doesn't even move me.
I wish I didn't. I wish I hadn't gotten it. That's how I was with pot. I was like, oh my God, I'll never do this again.
Right, horrible.
For some reason, I was just like, woo!
It's a chemical thing,
Yeah, it made me feel very
chemistry.
Yeah, it made me feel very exterior, and I didn't feel introverted or anything. So, anyway, after I'd screwed I knew that, when you've damaged yourself and you know you're damaged, I knew I wasn't like funny, nutty Kirstie. I was actually insane.
Right.
So, this friend of mine was in town. I didn't even particularly have some real big association with her.
But by the way, what a big party you must have been. I mean, you fucked 4 guys on coke, right? You probably on
that
coke.
was after drugs.
Oh, it was?
I didn't do that. That was in L.A.
Okay.
Once I left L.A., I'll tell you that. Okay, right. Once I left L.A., that was it. Well, it took me 26 days to get to L.A. because I was so drugged out. But anyway, so this girl, I knew she was a Scientologist. I had no idea what it meant, other than when I was in California once I saw all these Porsches and Mercedes parked outside the Scientology place, and I was like, whoa, those people are rich. Anyway, so I said to her, I go, so my only thing that was really screwed up about was I said, does Scientology help you with compulsions?
Right.
And she goes, yeah. And I said, could it help you with a compulsion to do something that was destructive? And she goes, oh, yeah, I'll send you a book. So she sends me this book, Dianetics, and I read it. High, right? I'm snorting coke through the whole thing.
I can't read books either. I have to be hiding things. But yes.
I was sitting on this white sofa with this white tray, with this white powder.
Oh, so elegant.
Where were you getting the money for coke? I mean, it's expensive.
From being an interior designer. Plus,
really?
I lived with a rich guy.
Okay.
Okay, so anyway, I'm reading this book, and I'm going like, wow, whoa. I get to the end of the book, and I think, this is either the world's biggest sham, or this is the world's biggest discovery.
Right.
So I decided I'm moving to California to find out. And that wasn't like me, because I was the girl that had never been in a taxi, never been on a bus.
Did you tell your parents you were going out there to find Scientology and to get off drugs? No.
Yes, I did. I said, look, I'm going to go do this. When I told my parents I was doing drugs, they started laughing. They thought I was kidding.
Right.
They did not know what cocaine was. I said, I'm totally strung out on cocaine. They're like, what is that?
That's a weird reaction, don't you think?
Well, they didn't know what it was.
Right.
And then they go, well, okay, so don't be.
Right, just get over it.
Just stop.
Yeah, just stop.
What? Anyway, so I announced to everybody I'm going to go do Scientology. So my mother, it's my birthday. You know my birthday, January 12th. I remember it well.
Yeah.
My mother hands me a present, and I open it up, and it's a dictionary. And she says, look up the word cult.
Right.
And that's how that was her first,
Well, she's fearful. She was afraid for you, every aspect of your life.
Well, but this was what made me laugh. I go, really? Okay, I'll look it up. So I look it up, and it says, a new culture, a new something. It was very benign. It was very whatever.
Cult didn't scare you.
Cult didn't scare me because I figured if it was a cult, I could get out.
Right.
I didn't feel like I was a mindless twit. I figured, if I can get into drugs and get out, or if I can... I'd been through a lot of things.
By the way, what religion isn't a cult, in a sense?
I think probably... You know what I think to say about religions? I say... The good thing about religion, the thing we can all agree on, is that our religion is right and everybody else's is wrong.
Right.
Everybody else's is crazy.
I love that people I've talked about this many times on the air. I think it is crazy when people criticize Scientology.